Competition Auto. Today is Thursday. We would normally be going to Galat. We have our F150 and we have our CA Corvette that we was going to take out today to do a baseline run on both of these vehicles. And unfortunately it's closed down due to the rain. So we're not going to waste this time. We have a set of CalTracs bars here. Okay, so this is the full kit here. Not a whole lot to it, and let's get up underneath the truck and I'll show you where it's going to go at. This is a typical leaf spring rear suspension on it, so what we're going to do is we're going to replace this bracket back here with this one. And then of course we have this piece that's going to go on the front of the leaf spring. So we have to drop that leaf spring down and replace the bushing as well. And then we'll connect, so we can just put this bar right between the two. And what that'll keep us from doing is letting that rear leaf spring kind of wrap, or as people would say, it kind of does an S shape. But first thing first, we are going to drop it and take the front bushing out and replace it with the bushing that CalTracs sent us. Okay guys, as you can see, we have the original OEM bushing that was in here pressed out. We now have the other one that came from CalTracs pressed in. Okay, now that we have the new bushing pressed in, we're ready to install the front bracket. We're going to go ahead and put the grease this in with us. Go ahead and grease this front pin up a little bit. Just slide this over it. If I get it in the right direction. There we go. I think that looks a little bit better. And it is ready to reinstall on the truck. Now that the spring is back in place, we're going to install the rear brackets. Now that we have the rear bracket installed, front bracket installed, you normally would lower the vehicle on a flat surface before installing the bars, but we're going to go ahead and install them. The key here is just to go ahead and screw them all the way in. That way there will be no preload. Alright, now we have everything installed, everything is left loose. That way we can put it on the ground and tighten it up in its normal state. Let's move to the next side. Okay, so now we moved on to the other side, and as you can see, this bolt from the factory is put in from the inside out. So we either have to drop the fuel tank, or we can go ahead and cut the head of this bolt right here off, which that's what they always recommend, especially when you're doing the lower end kits. I cheated, I did it before, but it's biting me in the butt now, so we're just going to go ahead and cut this bolt off and replace it with a new one from the outside in. So let's get started. Okay, now that we got the head cut off, all we have to do is pull it from the outside now, pull it out and get the spring off. now going to install the driver's side front bracket. Once again, we're going to take the pin and grease it up. Slide the bracket over correctly this time. And there we go. Thank you. Okay, so we ran into a problem. We got the shock bolt here, and when we try putting on the bottom plate, we notice there's not enough room for this bolt to come in. Even if we turn it around, there's not enough for that head. You notice this one is cut out for that shock bolt. This one is not. And we thought maybe we put it on the wrong side. The other one's identical to this, so neither one's cut out. So we're going to overlay these, and we're going to mark that. We're going to cut this before we move on. Okay, so now that we have it marked, we're going to put on some safety glasses and go ahead and cut this stuff up. Now that we got this marked, we're going to go ahead and put on our safety glasses and use the diaphragm with the cutoff wheel and cut this section off. Okay, now that we have it cut off, we're just going to polish it up a little bit, smooth it out, and spray paint it, and get it going. Okay, we got it cut, it's smooth. We're going to put a little bit of paint on this thing. Our finished product. Pull the bracket from the nut. The bolt still comes through a little far, so we're going to go ahead and cut the bolt off so it's not as long. There we go. Okay, so we're going to install the link, and it won't pull up in here because it's hitting the front of the spring because the suspension's dropped. So we're going to go ahead and stop here, lower the vehicle down, get that rear end up in the vehicle like it's supposed to be, and try to install it on the ground. Okay, now that the car is pretty much mostly on the ground, we now have room to lift this up and start putting it in place. We now have everything installed. We just have to start tightening everything up and start adjusting them. Okay, so we finally got everything installed. We rolled it over to our alignment rack. That way we can go ahead and get the final adjustments done. Right now we just both have them set with one flat. So that's a quarter of a turn preload, and that's it. We'll take it to the track and see what we got.